Hey guys, LuckyHD here, and in today's video, we're going to be revisiting some of Loomian Legacy's old updates and looking at what they could possibly do to revive these old and kind of boring features. If you guys do enjoy this video, go down there, like, subscribe, let's get straight into it. Alright, so Loomian Legacy has been out for quite a long time, and obviously in these 4 years almost that Loomian Legacy has been out, we've seen a lot of updates. Some good, some bad, but some people just don't really use anymore. Now, how I would like to define, a forgotten update inside of Loomian Legacy is an update that has a lot of potential. However, the Loomian Legacy developers either did not release with enough content for it, or they have not yet actually gone back and added anything to it. Before we start, I do want to give an honorable mention, first of all, to the Varies. We have not seen a Vari since Pyrolin, and I don't exactly know how long it's been since we've gotten one. However, I'll put it up on screen. It's been quite a bit of time, as well as a pretty new feature, the arcade. I understand, obviously, they're working on part 2. However, all this time later, and there's still not really anything to do inside of the arcade. Not like in Pokemon Brick Bronze, where you had the shiny Mega Salamence board that was like 50,000 tickets. The most expensive thing that you can buy in there, I'm pretty sure, is like a Booneri. And there's only like 2 machines in there. However, they have said that they are going to add more in the future, hence why I put this in an honorable mention. So, kicking off the actual list now, let's look at weather. Weather is such a just good feature inside of Loomian Legacy. The last time, though, that we actually had anything regarding weather was almost 2 years ago. Actually, in about 14 days, we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary. The last bit of weather that we actually got inside of the game was the windy weather. Now, the windy weather obviously added the entire Whipple Drift line. A pretty forgettable line in my opinion, but it still was cool nonetheless. I think in the future, if Loomian Legacy were to ever do something like another weather, at least for the winter time, they should do an overworld snow weather, because something like that obviously gets people actually playing the main game, because, Loomian Legacy definitely needs that right now. Another thing that you can do for weather is just add the Cosmere Meteor Shower back to the game. I mentioned this in another video, but basically, remove the Cosmere event from the game and make the Meteor Shower an actual just rare weather inside of Loomian Legacy. By making the Cosmere event just a permanent feature inside of Loomian Legacy, although rare, this removes the entire burden of, oh, every single year we have to do the Cosmere event, and every single year we have to do this. No, you can also free up a slot for a new special event, rather than just having all of these events cluttered together, because Cosmere, in my opinion, is one of the least fun events to actually play, considering the fact that every year it doesn't really add anything new other than just new colors. Alright, now the next thing I want to talk about is the UMV. The UMV is a great feature, don't get me wrong. Whenever it came out, it was also really, really good. For about less than a week, because after that, after everybody had already gotten their fossils, the only people that were really doing it was just people that, wanted the Gamma still, if they hadn't already have gotten it within the first week. Now, what could Loomian Legacy do to actually fix this? Well, add in some new items, add in some PvP items, add in shards, stuff like that down inside of the water. You could also, whenever Soul Burst comes out, put some Soul Burst crystals in there, obviously at a super duper rare chance. However, if you really want to revive it, just look no further than your own predecessor, Pokemon Brick Bronze, because inside of Pokemon Brick Bronze, you had the egg. I forgot exactly what it was called, but the entire idea essentially was that you get this egg, it has, I think, a 90% chance to get into a Togepi, or it has a 10% chance to go into one of the 3 Lake Trio, obviously, Azelf, Uxie, or Mesprit. Now, this was really cool because, obviously, I think this was the only way that you could get these Pokemon inside of the game, and if you really think about it with how Loomian Legacy is, and in terms of, people going and soft resetting for Gleaming Roamings, I mean, the only Gleam Roamings that you can soft reset in main game are Mudagon and Cephalops. Every other roaming that they have inside of the game just runs away from you, so you can't really have a opportunity to get it. So, you have something like this right here, you make it a trio, boom, there's 3 new things to get. Obviously, you could stack the eggs up, then when you're ready, go pop a Gleam Boost, open them all at the same time. Obviously, the eggs would be rare in the first place, and then you get something that is not worth 1/10 of a Gleam roaming, like Gleam soft reset roamings are, and you actually create demand for people going back to the UMV. Alright, now the next thing I want to talk about is the Gapipon. Jeez, what a just sad update. It was a really, really good update on release, but when I say sad update, I mean it was a great feature that nobody uses anymore, because the odds are just absolutely insane. Now, I feel like there's gonna be a couple people that are like, LuckyHD, what are you talking about? Because back in Pokemon Brick Bronze, the shiny Rayquaza Magikarp was a 1 in 4 million chance. However, here's why I think that the Gapipon was did dirty, because they removed one of the best features out of Pokemon Brick Bronze's Magikarp Pond. This was chain fishing. Now, chain fishing basically worked, you stood still and you kept fishing over and over and over again. Now, the thing is, you would have to sit here and stand in the exact same spot and keep on fishing and running away from these Magikarps over and over and over and over again. You couldn't even battle any of the Magikarps, or else it would break your streak, just like moving. You also were not allowed to fail a fish. Basically, whenever the exclamation point pops up, you had to click it. If you didn't, it would also break your streak. However, if you had a Lilith with the ability Suction Cups and it was at the front of your party, you would not miss a fish. So this, entire setup right here was the meta for getting the shiny Rayquaza Magikarp. And even then, with all this stuff, putting on your shiny charm and your boost, it was still a 1 in 3,033 chance, and that is if you had the willpower to actually stay in a server that long. But despite all of that, what did people do? They still hunted for it, and it still ended up being such an awesome Pokemon. Now, what do we not see anybody doing in Loomian Legacy? Hunting the Goppies. Now, why do people not want to hunt the Goppies? Well, the Goppies are just boring. Like, you have to sit there and then click on the water, and then you actually have to drag your mouse all over the place until you get yourself the encounter. Again, obviously, they did add the efficiency to the game that made it faster, but in my opinion, I still think Loomian Legacy's fishing system is just not that good. Because the odds at the end of the day are still always just going to be a 1 in 80 to 90,000, and there's no changing that, unlike the Rayquaza Magikarp. Now, what could Loomian Legacy do for the Gapipon to actually make it better? Well, inside of the Magikarp pond, they also actually put in new Magikarp via a contest. So I think Loomian Legacy could do something similar, obviously have fans draw up a new Gapi, put them into the pond, obviously whichever ones win, and then boom, you have something new inside of the game, some new skins, and also if you really want to do it, go ahead and throw in like a gleaming 3-star Gapi. I don't really see the problem in that, other than the fact that obviously you pay for the cooler quote-unquote Gappies, but free-to-play players, like, they don't use the Gapipon because of the fact that you can't get the 4 to 5 stars. It's like walking into a restaurant with no money, and then the owners of the restaurant are like, hey, we see that you don't have any money, here's some free food, while at the same time they're serving expensive dishes to people right in front of you. That is essentially what the Gapipon experience is, in my opinion, to free-to-play players. I just think, fishing in general just needs an entire rework, along with the Gapipon. I do appreciate the fact that they went out of their way and they did the fishing efficiency thing and all that stuff, but I think if we just reverted back to normal, I don't think that people would be as, turned off by the Gapipon, because why fix what's not broken? But yeah, guys, that is about it for the video. Obviously, we went over the UMV, we went over the weather, and we went over the Gapipon / fishing, I guess, too. So what would you actually change inside of Loomian Legacy? What do you think are some of the most forgotten updates inside of Loomian Legacy? Put it down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, go down there, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.